Today we're going to add fractions with unlike denominators. We're going to solve two problems in this video. The first thing that we're going to be doing is we're going to talk through how we do this with drawing models, drawing pictures. Essentially, students in 4th grade, what they did was they added fractions that had common denominators. That means the bottoms of the fractions were the same, and they could add straight across. However, in 5th grade, we work with fractions that do not have the same denominator. Students have to create a common denominator in the two fractions. To do that, they can solve by changing these fractions. So essentially, I could, if I wanted to, I could multiply this number by 2. And then I could add straight across. That would work fine. In this video, though, we're going to talk about what it looks like when we're using models and pictures to do that work. To do this, we're actually going to draw both of these fractions. So I'm going to draw two boxes. I'm going to draw a half in one box, and I'm going to draw a fourth in another box. Next, I'm going to shade in those fractions. So I've shaded in half of a whole, and I'm going to shade in 1/4 of a whole. If you notice, I did them in two different directions. That is for this next part of the problem. So now I've got my half and I've got the fourth. Now I need to create a common denominator amongst both of these fractions. Well, I know if I were to multiply 2 by 4 and 4 by 2, I would end up with the same denominator. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to now break this fraction up into fourths. And I'm going to break this fraction up into halves. If you notice, I now have the same amount of boxes in each fraction. So what we challenge the students to do next is to find a total number of pieces. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 total slices of a whole. How many are shaded? Okay, in this one there's 2 pieces shaded. In this one there are 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces shaded. And now we have a common denominator for the students to add straight across. So if they were to add straight across, 4, 5, 6, 8. They could leave it at this answer, or what we would really ideally want them to do would be to simplify this down. So dividing both of these by 2 would indeed be this 3/4. Okay, I'm going to do another example for you. We're going to do, gotta move my chair. We're going to do 3/4 and a 5th. So I'm going to draw my two fraction boxes. I'm going to split these up into fractions. Let's go. Now, this model is all fine and dandy until you get really big numbers. Now, in 5th grade, we are not giving them very large numbers to work with, but this model will not be as effective later on. This model is a way for them to understand kind of what happens when we create these common denominators. All right, so I have 3/4 and I have a 5th. So once again, I need to create a common denominator amongst my two fractions. If you've already figured it out, we're probably going to end up with 20 because 5 and 4, I'm multiplying this 5 by 4. And I'm multiplying this 4 by a 5. All right, I'm going to count out my total number of pieces. 20. All right, so I have 20 pieces on the bottom. 20 in total in the whole. And I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, then the next step would be to add these numbers together. Okay, and this number cannot simplify down, so that would be our answer.